Leadership is hard, and I've got some good news and I've got some bad news for you. The bad news is that I can't make it any easier, but the good news is that we can work on it together to get better. And you want to know the secret? Who you are comes before what you do. It's form before function. So let's get to work together. I'm Preston Poore, and this is PQ.
Have you ever paused to ask yourself, what will truly matter at the end of your life? Not the trophies on your shelf, the zeros in your bank account, or even the accolades from others, but the lives you've touched, the legacies you've built, and the significance of your journey. Today, we're diving into the profound difference between success and significance, and how shifting your focus can transform not only your life, but the lives of those around you. Let's explore what it really means to live a life that matters. You know, John Maxwell is a big hero of mine, and I was actually certified as part of the John Maxwell team, and I learned a lot from him over the past few years. And his definition of success are three things. Number one, it's knowing your purpose in life, growing to your maximum potential, and sowing seeds that benefit others. Alan Lloyd McGinnis says this. He says, there is no more notable occupation in the world than to assist another human being, to help someone succeed. Zig Ziglar said, you'll always have everything in life that you want if you help enough people get what they want. And John Maxwell went on to say this. He said, a lot of people believe that they are successful because they have everything they want. They've added value to themselves. He said, but I believe significance comes when you add value to others, and you can't have true success without significance. So all of that reminded me about an article that I once read from Lee Colin. It's called How to Go from Being Successful to Being Significant. I want to share that with you today. Lee wrote this. He said, stop worrying about leaving a legacy and spend more time living it. Here are three things that you can do today. You don't have to become an industrial baron and make billions of dollars to live a life of significance. All you have to do is to share the resources that you have now. However insignificant you may think they are, your resources are often of greater value to someone than they are to you. The straightforward way to live a life of significance is simply to share your three T's: time, talent, and treasures. We've heard of those before, right? But let's go and walk through what those mean. Our lives are meant to be given away to significant causes, to loving families, to friends in need, to lasting relationships. Find a way that your gifts can serve others. Your time, your energy, your money, they're all precious resources. They're limited, and you are the sole owner. If you spend them in one area, you can't spend them in another. When we say yes to one thing, by default, we're saying no to something else. And the key to winning is to say yes to the significant things in your life. So let's walk through these three real quick. Time. It's a paradox of life that only by giving away our time do we make our lives meaningful. For time is the most precious gift that we have. The time that we spend playing with our children or grandchildren, chatting with a bedridden friend, coaching a team member, supporting a colleague, or serving those in need in our community. They cannot be measured in dollars, but it is priceless. And life rewards those who donate their time, first in terms of their own satisfaction and the good opinion of others, later in ways that they can never foresee. The time may come when you need a hand, and there will be many, many more hands offering help than you can count. That was time. The second T is talent. There's something especially rewarding about applying our best talents toward the benefit of others. The way to make the greatest contribution with your talent is by recognizing and using your strengths. Applying your talents to something bigger than yourself, a team's goal, an industry meeting, a professional association, or a community project inspires a sense of meaning and significance. And lastly, treasure. You don't have to be wealthy to donate your treasures to others. An insignificant part of the modest holdings could be a fortune to others. But stories of truly generous, wealthy people inspire us, and I want to share one quick story with you. In 1981, business leader and self-made millionaire Eugene Lange looked out across the faces of 59 African-American and Puerto Rican sixth graders who had come to hear him speak. Years earlier, Lange had attended this same school in East Harlem, but now he was wondering how he could get these children to even listen to him. What could he say that would inspire the students when, statistically, most would probably drop out of school before graduation? Finally, scrapping his notes, he just threw them out and he spoke from his heart. He told him, he said, stay in school. If you do, here was the shocker, I'll help pay college tuition for every one of you. And at that moment, he changed the life of every student in the room. For the first time, they had hope. Hope of achieving more than their older brothers and sisters. A hope of living a better life than their parents and their neighbors. Well, fast forward 6 years later, nearly 90% of that class graduated from high school. And true to his promise, Lange made it possible for them to attend college. A few years later, he founded the I Have a Dream Foundation, which has supported similar projects in 57 cities, assisted by more than 200 sponsors and helping more than 12,000 disadvantaged students. Get that, 12,000 disadvantaged students with academic support and guidance through the high school and a college education. He goes on to write this. He said, there's a Chinese proverb that says, if you continually give, you will continually have. Isn't that great? It's a perfect formula for building a significant team and a significant life. Remember, your legacy is not about what you acquire. It's about what you leave behind. So at the end of that article, and if you're listening to this, I want to give you a couple questions that you can ponder about today as you go about your day. Number one, how can I gift my time today to make a significant difference in someone's life? And number two, which of my natural talents would I enjoy using to serve another person or organization outside my work? I want to share something else with you today that I had a chance of really sharing with my brothers, Sigma Chi brothers, at the Beta Tau 100th anniversary of our chapter there at Colorado State University. I was honored to give a keynote address to about 500 people in the room. And I don't say that to impress you, but to impress upon you. It's one of my favorite phrases that this piece really impacted folks as they listened to it. And I've shared it often. It's a poem by Michael Josephson. It's called What Will Matter? Ready or not, someday it will all come to an end. There will be no more sunrises, no minutes, hours, or days. All the things you collected, whether treasured or forgotten, will pass away to someone else. Your wealth, fame, and temporal power will shrivel to irrelevance. It will not matter what you owned or what you were owed. Your grudges, resentments, frustrations, and jealousies will finally disappear. So too, your hopes, ambitions, plans, and to-do lists will expire. The wins and losses that once seemed so important will fade away. It won't matter where you came from or what side of the tracks that you lived on in the end. It won't matter whether you were beautiful or brilliant. Even your gender and skin color will be irrelevant. So what will matter? How will the value of your days be measured? Well, what will matter is not what you bought, but what you built. Not what you got, but what you gave. What will matter is not your success, but your significance. What will matter is not what you learned, but what you taught. What will matter is every act of integrity, compassion, courage, or sacrifice that enriched, empowered, or encouraged others to emulate your example. What will matter is not your competence, but your character. What will matter is not how many people you knew, but how many people will feel a lasting loss when you're gone. What will matter is not your memories, but the memories of those who loved you. What will matter is how long that you will be remembered, by whom and for what. Living a life that matters doesn't happen by accident. It's not a matter of circumstance or choice. Choose to live a life that matters. So, in closing, can I get personal with you for a moment? I want to ask you a couple provocative questions as you're maybe driving along, working out, listening to this podcast today, watching it. There's a few questions I want to ask you. Do you have a desire to live a significant life? One that matters? And if so, why? What do you need to do to shift from a success mindset to a significance mindset? And what actions will you take? When will you do it? I'd encourage you not to hesitate. I'd do it now. My question back to you is, why wait? Who will you share your plan with? Who will hold you accountable? You need to tell somebody who you can trust and will help you make the mindset shift. My friend, life is short, and the opportunity to make a difference is fleeting. As Michael Josephson so powerfully reminds us, what will matter isn't what you've accumulated, but what you've given. Not your success, but your significance. So I ask you, what step will you take today to move toward living a life that truly matters? Here's my challenge. Choose one small action. Gift your time, share your talent, or invest your treasure, remember those 3 T's, in someone else's story. Don't wait, do it now. And then tell somebody about it. Someone who will hold you accountable to keep you moving toward a significance mindset. If today's message stirred something in you, if it challenged or inspired you, reach out to me. I'd love to hear from you, hear about your story, and help you along your journey to make and live a life of impact. Let's partner together to make a difference. May you live a life with purpose, give with generosity, and inspire others to choose a life that matters. Hey, and you know what? Don't forget to follow me on social media. That's Facebook, LinkedIn, or Instagram. Even subscribe to this podcast and leave a review. It's because your feedback helps us reach more people and grow our community. Take care and talk soon.